もしやコスモでは
Cosmo makes me feel
Cosmo AP Luxury Sports.
Hi, well everybody knows me. I'm Aaron Cake, and this is, I guess I'm going to do a fractional 42.5 episode of my 76 Cosmo restoration, just to let everybody know what's happened. I just want to start this off by saying that I am not myself right now. I don't want to get much more into it beyond that, but I've had a rough couple of weeks or month. So I'm going to tell you right now, there probably won't be any dead hooker jokes or that's what she said on this episode. But you know, you guys and gals should probably know what happened here. As you can probably tell by the mess, things are not right here. Last night, which would have been Tuesday, May the first Tuesday in May, I got here after having dinner and right away noticed something was wrong when a bicycle that should be inside the creepy hot tub room was in my driveway. And I mean, from then I knew what had happened. I booked it to the back and found the door of the exterior door of the creepy hot tub room kicked in. I have temporarily sealed this room. The exterior door is held shut by 4 2x4s screwed into the studs. It's secured because the lock was broken. This lock was also broken, which didn't help them because of the bar. They didn't have to use that door initially because they came through this window into the fabrication area. This window, as I just learned last night, latches from the other side. So they came in here, took the bar off, and near as I can tell, spent at least an hour, probably more, just ransacking the place. It's even been a little cleaned up now because I needed to clean up last night a little bit just to see if there was anything missing and find my tools to be able to secure the doors. As near as I can tell, nothing is missing except for my circular saw, which I don't honestly even care about. Circular saws are a commodity. In fact, the blade on it was worth more than the saw. I had initially thought my newly purchased and never even used mill was gone, but I located it in the neighbor's shed covered in debris. I'm going to be clear, the neighbors did not do this. It just so happened that whoever did it stashed it in their shed. I found my MIG welder outside on my back deck. Obviously they were going to wheel it away at some point. It got a little bit rained on, but I think it's okay, just superficially wet. But they were quite intent on probably trying to clean out the whole place. Even the drill press and bandsaw were unplugged, and they had placed my car dollies ready to wheel this stuff out of here. I mean, to where, to what end? You know, I guess the only good thing you can say, if you can say a good thing, is that they weren't interested in mindless damage. There's been no damage to the Cosmo. There's been no damage to my RX-7. Well, that's not quite true, but there's been no significant damage to my RX-7 stored for the winter. And they didn't just break things. I mean, they were in here trying to take things and trying to pack things up to take in bulk. I mean, they spent a considerable amount of time. To that end, probably the only funny part about this, if you could call it funny, was that they had packed my RX-7 full of stuff. My shop heater was in there, my computer, a whole bunch of tools, loads of crap. Because I really think that they thought they were going to drive this car out of here. Meanwhile, it's pretty obvious to anybody who isn't on meth that there is no garage door there or here, and this car is blocked in by the Cosmo up on stands. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to hear what in the hell they were thinking. Gets better though. Unfortunately, in the delusion that they thought they were going to get the car out of here, they used my center punch to punch the ignition lock, so that will have to be replaced before I can even drive my own car. But of course, there's no battery and no power, and this thing is stored for the winter. So they open the hood looking for the battery, but of course there's no battery under the hood because there's a great big turbo and intercooler in the way. This is where it gets a little bit funny. You'll have to pardon the lack of light because I can't find my lights, but notice how they packed all this copper wire in here to take away. But what they did was they found my 12-volt phone exchange battery. It's just a big amp hour lead acid battery, but completely unsuitable for starting a car. Shoved it in the battery thing, and then I think we're going to try to start the car with that battery. Which, of course, there's no way that would have worked because the battery is probably almost stone dead. It's completely not a starting battery, and I have other security measures in this car. That means nobody can start it but me. More to the point, there's no way to get it out of the building. Again, I would have loved to understand what they were going to try to accomplish, but meth is a hell of a drug. So I was able to get a police officer here. They wanted me to fill out an online report, but I was able to get an officer here who looked around, you know, took a look, but got my statement. But really there's not a lot they can do because there's no suspects. They can't really or won't really dust for fingerprints because, well, you know, like they say, this is not on TV. Although honestly, I know a little bit about how police work works, and if the fingerprints were on file, they could be matched. But again, the chances of them being on file and etc., etc. Look, this is the real world here, where someone who just wants to be, you know, productive, left alone to build their car like me, has to now deal with this. You can probably tell by my demeanor that I'm not really in a happy place right now, and this is just kind of the icing on the cake, as it were, the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the apex seal. You know, I'm dealing with a lot, and it's going to even take me just days to sort through this mess, figure out if anything else is gone, where to put things back, sort it out, because they're packing stuff up all over the place to move out of here. Because not only that, of course, to sort this place out again, but I also have to secure it, you know. I need to beef up the exterior lighting. I need to replace a section of fence that blew over in a windstorm a few weeks ago. That was on my list, but you know, priorities, right? I'm fixing up a house, working on a car. I have to get a security system in here. I have to probably get a set of cameras. And all of that just takes time and energy, which I don't have, unfortunately, in abundance at this moment. I probably have, at best, an hour of sleep last night thinking about this, and I don't expect to get too much sleep tonight. Maybe we'll sort of maybe we'll sort of see what some alcohol can do for that. You can see that I have some temporary measures in place to at least have some semblance of added security. I'm going to have to get bars for the windows. And you know, the one fucking thing that they should have taken, and they didn't, is the damn squeaky stool. They even went through like all of my spare parts for the Cosmo, like vintage air stuff that no one would ever value except if you're doing this, or and fittings and hoses and whatnot that you couldn't sell at a pawn shop or thrift store, which is another thing I have to do, you know. That circular saw is gone, and maybe if I visit some of the local pawn shops and thrift stores, maybe the saw was brought in and I can get some security footage of the people who did it. To what end, I don't know, but at least then I'd know who it is, and on the off chance that they were recognized by me, another neighbor, or the police. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. It's been setback after setback lately, and this has been a big one. I have been working on the Cosmo whenever I got a chance, but I have been busy for other reasons lately, so it's been a little bit intermittent, but I am still working on the car. I think it's going to take a little while before I can work on it again, because now I have to devote all my energies to making sure this doesn't happen again. So I just, wanted to let everybody know, and maybe this has helped someone who has been through this before, and know, that they're not the first one, and they're not the only one, and it can really affect your mental state, especially if you're dealing with other stresses. So if you're out there and just have had your shit broken into and ransacked, then, well, I'm here too, and I know how you feel. Happens to everybody, I guess. This isn't even a high crime neighborhood. So, well, I mean, there's not really much more to say at this point. I got some work ahead of me to sort this place back out, and believe me, I did not want this to be how I would present the new shop. So when things are sorted back out, we'll get a proper tour of the new shop happening, and I'll eventually get back to work on the car, and that will continue. Believe me, I don't intend to give up on the project ever. Even if it's more long term, it will get completed. But for right now, I just have some other stuff to deal with, and I just felt that all of my viewers should know.